We are students from Heritage Academy in Ottawa. We are so grateful for this opportunity to participate in Operation Remembrance.
We are recognizing the 110th anniversary of Canadian services in the air since World War I, as well as the 100th anniversary of the Royal Canadian Air Force.
I wonder how it'd feel to fly back then.
I couldn't imagine being one of those planes.
The planes were so different back then.
They are made out of wood and canvas. They just use the cables to control. They look like big toy planes.
They must have been so afraid of an enemy hiding behind the clouds.
And they did it for the love of their country.
During the war, more than 4,300 Newport 17s were made. Roughly 5,490 Sopwith Camels were made during the war. Pilots flying Sopwith Camels downed 1,294 enemy aircraft, a lot more than any other Allied fighter in World War I.
I feel really proud that Canada had two flying ace heroes in World War I.
Yeah, Lieutenant Colonel William Barker and Major Billy Bishop. Since they were Canadian and we didn't have our own Air Force, they flew under the British flag.
William Barker a quitté l'école en 11e année, à l'âge de 20 ans, pour servir à l'effort de guerre. Il a servi dans le 1er bataillon canadien de fusilières au cheval au sein du corps expéditionnaire canadien jusqu'à 1916. De 1916 à la fin de la guerre, il a volé avec le Corps royal d'aviation, qui a fusionné avec le service aérien volant de la Marine royale pour former la Force aérienne royale en 1918.
After he served in the Royal Flying Corps, he flew on the Italian front for the rest of the war. There, he was the only pilot to have fought against a dozen enemy planes at the same time.
Comme William Barker, Billy Bishop n'a pas commencé dans le Corps royal d'aviation. À l'origine, il servait dans le régiment de cavaliers de Mississauga du Corps expéditionnaire canadien en 1914.
In July 1915, he transferred to the Royal Flying Corps until the end of the war.
He shot down 72 aircraft, the most for any pilot during the First World War. On June 2nd, 1917, Major Bishop received the Victoria Cross.
The Victoria Cross was created on January 29, 1856 by Queen Victoria to recognize acts of extreme bravery displayed in the presence of the enemy. Since then, 1,354 military personnel have been awarded this medal.
Since Canada didn't have an Air Force, I would like to know how it felt about flying with the British Air Force.
The Royal Canadian Air Force is celebrating its 100th anniversary in 2024.
Today I'm joined by Corporal Cynthia Craig from the 450 Tactical Helicopter Squadron based at Garrison, Petawawa. Is there a particular memory you enjoyed the most while in the RCAF?
Anytime I get to do any kind of flybys, meet new people. I was able to do a deployment to Romania with the F-18's fighter jets, and that was pretty exciting.
What is it like to be a flight engineer with the Royal Canadian Air Force?
Well, I started off with pre-flights, and I talked to pilots. We plan missions. We brief. All our flights are different. Sometimes it could be a fly past, or other times it's around the ranges, going into really tight areas with the helicopter.
What made you join the Air Force instead of the other two branches of the CAF?
I started off in cadets when I was 12 years old until I aged out, and that's what made me want to join the RCAF. I started off as an aviation systems technician.
What activities are going on around Canada to commemorate the 100th anniversary of the Royal Canadian Air Force?
So I could only speak for my unit. We've done a fly past in April. We've been going to some air shows. and Women in Aviation Days.
Thank you, Corporal Craig, for joining us today to be a part of our video and for serving our country.
The students of Heritage Academy and I would like to wish everyone a happy 100th anniversary to the RCAF.